Why are people so bad at being honest with themselves about their emotions, especially romantic emotions?
Because there's a high risk, I guess. You don't know if the other person likes you back.
But what are you risking?
Friendship, status, reputation.
It seems that people are sometimes so scared of this that not only are they not honest with the other person, they're not even honest with themselves. Like maybe they have feelings for somebody, but they tell themselves or they act like they don't. What is the reason for this?
Because if they accept that they are feelings for someone and they don't do anything about it, it'll be they'll seem weak to themselves.
Okay, so it's about their self-image as well.
Yes.
How do you feel about if this is healthy or not?
It might be healthy because, if you get rejected, it might be more unhealthy for your social life.
In the short term, certainly, but a person needs to be able to face rejection. I would think that it's not really mentally healthy for you to be lying to yourself.
We do that all the time. We should lie to ourselves in order to be happy.
But you don't know what the outcome is going to be in the end. Why not just be honest with yourself?
Like, for example, the person you like is dating someone else. Maybe you shouldn't be that guy.
You don't have to take action, but shouldn't you still be honest with yourself?
But if you're honest with yourself, you might, be more angry that that person is with another person. If you just lie to yourself and say, I don't like her anyways, it doesn't matter.
Do you feel that facing such difficulties is important in growing up?
Yeah.
If you were talking to a younger person who's facing this kind of situation, what would you say to them?
I'd say you gotta just be honest with yourself and you should do the math. And if you think there's a high probability it's gonna work out, you should go for it. And before you go for it, you gotta...
You mean like jump into the middle of somebody else's relationship?
No. I'm not telling you what to do, but you gotta do the math, the probability math. And then after you think there's a high chance, you gotta come up with a good strategy. And then you gotta gather your resources. Should
we really be so calculating and math-like in these situations?
Yeah. We should, because, a lot of times to get the best outcome, you need to think calmly. And if we want the best outcome, we should think calmly. And with this emotion, we don't think calmly. And so we gotta separate that.
You're being very unromantic right now. How do you feel about this? Do you think that emotional things, especially something as emotional as romantic feelings, should they be approached emotionally or should they be approached, quote, scientifically? Which one do you say?
I think it's not good if you go too extreme on either side. You should think, like, maybe you don't have to do the calculations and stuff, but you should kind of think and expect the outcome of your choices.
If you are not realistic, what will happen?
You'll become a stalker.
If you only follow your emotions, then maybe you can accidentally enter like a very sticky relationship. And some people, they go through very weird relationships or very toxic ones. If you think too much, you may be overthinking and just thinking about things that probably wouldn't happen.
Again, back to the original question. It's very difficult for people to be honest with themselves about their own emotions or feelings towards other people. Why is that?
I guess society kind of just teaches us that it is not really good to do that. Like if you hate someone, you kind of just come up to them and say, hey, I hate you. Have a bad day. Just leave.
Yes, but this is being honest or not with other people. The question is being honest with yourself. There are many times when a person may have feelings for another person and they can't even admit it to themselves. Of course, we see it with young kids rather often, and we think it's cute. So, for example, maybe a very young boy likes a very young girl, and the way he expresses it is by, I don't know, stealing her pencils or playing with her clothes and like hitting her with rubber bands or something. And we say, Yeah, that's pretty cute. But as people get older, it seems like a lot of people still stay in that stage where the only way they can express their good feelings for another person is to like make jokes out of them or even say something insulting. And they tell themselves, no, this is just fun. I don't have any feelings for the other person. Why is that?
I think a lot of it, maybe it comes from education too.
What kind of
Because we never really teach kids about these emotions. They have to kind of just guess what they are. And they probably, when they get like a new feeling for someone, they probably don't know what exactly it is. So they can be confused and do weird things.
I can understand the confused part. I don't know why people need to do weird things.
Because they don't know. They don't know what this emotion is. They don't know if they're interested in this person, they like them or they hate them.
I learned a very good word yesterday.
Yes, what's that?
Discombobulated.
Yes, discombobulated. Okay, very extremely confused. Don't know what to do. Good.
It's a great word. It's a great sounding word.
Yes.
Like, you know, I will discombobulate you.
No, that's not usually how it's used. Why do people have such a hard time being honest about their own feelings, especially with romantic feelings and stuff?
I think because they're Asian.
Because they're
No,
Asian.
because I think Asian people, they teach kids to like, they almost like bending. They have emotion stuff.
Banning emotions. Okay.
So
Can you give an example of this?
like we have heard about when you win or when you get high score, things like that, you can't be proud.
Okay.
You
yeah,
can't be happy.
You can't be too proud. Yes.
And if you like lost and you can cry, things like that. You can be sad.
It's still a little bit different from romantic feelings, though.
Yeah, but I mean, like, since you're like bending kids from having emotions, so they can like have this kind of knowledge.